it's Tracy here from Ethical Direct Sellers Association. I have a special guest today, and I know we've had her in the group a few times, but this time it's all about that content breakthrough, and people are going, what the hell do you mean? So Jenny de Lacey, what the hell do you mean?
I think over the last few years, one thing I know that really helps people is being able to get all their ideas into a coherent offer so that we know what we're offering and we know how to promote it. And so the content breakthrough is really for people who have taken a really long time to decide, are they putting an online course together or an online resource or a lead magnet? What even is it? How do you relate that back to your own business and your bigger sales offer, whatever that is? I started offering it one-to-one so we can really tailor it and really get to the nitty-gritty of what our core messages are and what to call it and how to actually promote it.
Oh my God, that is what I was struggling with so much. And especially for network marketers, because they need to have some form of lead magnet, but they get told by their upline to copy and paste everything. Why is this not a good idea?
I could buy those products from anyone then. You know, we've got to be really clever about this and say, why would I buy my doTERRA oils from Inez McSweeney and nobody else? It's because the way Inez has structured her video support, when you buy a certain package, you get quite a lot of resource from her about how to use it, where to use it in your kitchen, if you're going to, or your household, or you're going to revamp your entire medicine cabinet or your cleaning cupboard, here's a course for it, sort of thing. So for her, it's more nurturing customers, but equally, she's got really good ideas for the bit at the beginning because that's about her. Like it's more, it's her brand. It's not about the products. And I've said this to you before. I think that people aren't particularly loyal when it comes to the products we buy from direct marketing. I might go, I really need some Intimo. Well, I really love their pants. If I meet someone and sells them, I'd probably buy it from them because I don't think I've felt that there was any particular consultant who was particularly any better than anyone else. But then I see this other person on Instagram all the time who does reels with the Intimo. She shows you styling secrets. She's a lot of fun. I'm like, I might get in touch with her. And so I messaged her. So I think we've got to be more than the product. You have to bring your own brand to what you sell because that's where we build loyalty. We might be loyal to the product, but we're not particularly loyal to who sells it to us. So I feel like we've got to be more than the product to really build a team with a team ethos and values, but also our own sales of the product need to be more about what you really believe about these products, not, oh, I need a moisturiser, you know.
I wanted to go back to something you just said before about your brand. How do you get to have your brand?
It's about bringing your personality and your individuality to how you go about selling the products and the business. So that's where the brand lies. Actually, it's a personal brand. It's about you and what you stand for. So there might be 5 Arbonne consultants, and we all know quite a few. One of them always talks about anti-aging. That's all she talks about. And so I feel like that's a really big part of her brand. There's a fine line between talking about yourself all the time and not making it about your customer, but you've got to make it about the customer, but make it about your personal approach and why I would buy it from you and not someone else. So that can be entirely different across the exact same product range, 5 completely different personalities and the way they approach, you know, building their brand.
Oh, absolutely. It's so funny because I was speaking to someone, they made a comment on one of my lives and she said, oh, yeah, I serve people from 20 to 60. I went, dude, the messaging to a 20-year-old is so different to a 60-year-old.
Well, I think a lot of it is based on our own experience. So we do tend to sell to people like us. I think it's hard, you know, in your mid-50s to sell to somebody in their 20s at the moment, I would suggest. Unless, you want to be authentically, like really genuine about what the products or the company have done for you personally, and that's going to resonate with that target audience. It doesn't mean that other people won't buy from you. It doesn't mean
they do.
It doesn't mean that their daughters won't also buy from you, because they'll listen to their mum, and maybe their mum will say, oh, I get all my stuff from Jen, and that will work. So it's not as if you're closing yourself off from sales outside of your target, but it just helps with how you speak and the sort of content you create. And your lead magnet is obviously going to be really specific to a target market. Like if you put together something that said 5 ways that you can improve your well-being every day, and it's clearly for mums of young kids, that's not going to be the same for me. I remember when I was about 20, maybe 23 or 24, and I was in corporate, and I had all my friends were corporate chicks. We all went to the gym. We all were single, I think. Maybe there's a couple in a relationship, but nobody had kids and nobody was getting married or anything. And the Tupperware consultant spent the entire time talking us through the products and how great it was for babies. And I remember thinking, what the goddamn hell is this? What is she doing? And I actually said to her, I think you'll notice from the people in the room that we go to the gym and that we are corporate, like we take lunch to work and stuff. So can you give us some examples of how the products would help, with taking lunch to work? And like, I bloody spoon-fed her.
You actually sold the product.
Whereas if that's really her target was young mums, that's great. But then you do have to change your messaging if you're in front of a group of women that is irrelevant for. And so I think your brand, your target has to be really clear, but you also have to speak to the audience that you're in front of. If you get an opportunity, you're not going to stay to the same messaging when you're in front of people that, it's not relevant for. What I would want is completely different from someone with younger kids. And so if I was selling a product, I would probably be talking to people just like me. I wouldn't try and get in the shoes of people with younger kids, because it would be disingenuous, I think, for me.
Oh, you can do it from a retrospective sort of way. So I can relate to a 20-year-old because I had shitful skin back then. But I don't have that now. I have bloody amazing skin. I have wrinkles.
No, you're absolutely right. And so it's okay. So it's bringing your personality, but also talking to a particular group of people or a person that brings out your brand. What do you stand for? Who are you? And then people build loyalty, not just to the product. And that's why I've always said, people that use the corporate stock photos of the products and stuff, and they don't show me how to use it in real life, in a real messy household. But, so I just really want to encourage everybody to bounce those ideas around. Okay, who's my target? What do they really need from me? What do I want them to know? And that's where your content planning comes from. That's where your promo content comes from, and that's what the content breakthrough is for. I spent 2 hours with a client yesterday who said, I don't think I have a target market because my method works for everyone. Who do you really want to work with then? And if the niche is the way that you go about doing what you do, it still means that you've got to talk to a particular person, I think, in your copy. We feel like we're narrowing the field, but the opposite is actually true, isn't it? It's like a little paradox. It's like if somebody is talking directly to me, I'm way more likely to buy from them than someone who is just generally talking about, skin. I have definitely heard someone say, my ideal referral is anyone with skin.
Oh, no, I've heard it many, many times over the 30 years of being in the industry, and you've been a customer of the industry as well for a long time, so you understand. Like, dude, is it dry skin, oily skin, old skin, new skin? It's like, what sort of skin? I think they go into overthinking mode. How do you get out of overthinking mode?
All of us overthink, really. Like, I don't know many people that maybe one in 50 might just get going without even having a thought. They just get going. But it's pretty rare. What happens is we go, I wonder if it would be a good idea to make a little video for Instagram about how to use the product. I'm actually going to be brave and wash my face with this new range of skincare, and that means I'm going to have a thing holding my hair back, and I'll be in my bathroom and the light's not bad in there and the acoustics are fine, so I won't have to worry about that. And then there's just a moment where our brain goes from yes to no.
Oh, yeah, we talk ourselves out of it.
But it's very, very quick.
Is it the imposter coming through? I think it is.
It could be everyone else has already done this. Who's going to want to watch it? What other people think in the industry is a big one, actually. I find that really fascinating.
Wow.
Someone else will see me that is also in my team or something and they'll judge me. Like, are you trying to sell them products? The more we're aware of when it's happening, the quicker we can turn it around. In that yes to no moment, one of the strategies might be, oh, that's okay, brain, thank you, but I'm just going to I was just sort of testing it out anyway, or I was just practicing anyway. So you sort of remove the big deal about creating a video and putting it online. And I think that after you've then practiced a few times, you're like, oh, this is way easier than I was expecting. And you enjoy the process. So when people go, oh, I'm a perfectionist, no, you're not. It's just an excuse because you're scared. That's okay, because everybody feels like that. I'm really worried about being criticised. Okay, everybody is. Just keep going. It's almost like, yeah, make a big deal out of it, but don't. There really isn't a bad idea for content, because anything that gets you out there and shows people what you're about is worth it.
I just want to say, so when they're doing this one-on-one session with you, how long is it for?
So, for example, some people work really quickly and I ask them questions, they answer them. I do a big messaging map on my flip chart. So we have our human, whoever that is, in the middle, and we really flesh out why wouldn't they buy my stuff? Why would they? What are their challenges? What are their fears? Blah, blah, blah. And we really get to the heart of what our messaging is all about, whether we use it for posting or lead magnets or blogs or whatever. And then we really say, what is the, tagline, I guess. You know, what's your actual statement that you pin all your stuff around? And then some people will do that in an hour, and we have that whole messaging map and go, okay, off you go. Here's a couple of sort of templates for a couple of videos. Go and make them. It's more about, okay, now do you want to show me where you're going to record them? Do you want to ask me any questions about how you can actually, what your introduction might be, like what you might say? So it sort of goes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. It sort of depends on the person. I was talking to somebody the other day who is into music and drumming and voice, and we're really trying to work out what is the actual product, you know. And so that one, you know, we split that in two. But you're right, some people go, you know, I'm going to sleep on it and the words will start to come to me. And I always say to people, after that really creative session, they're gonna get lots of ideas, and they've just got to not censor themselves. They're just going to write it all down. They're just going to get it down, notes on their phone or on their computer or in a notebook or whatever. That sort of gut reaction to creating content ideas is the one that we really need to trust, because it's nearly always right. And then in that moment, that yes, no moment, that's when we're going to go, no, you know, I know that I am okay to talk about this stuff or to show this stuff or to share this stuff because I know it. And that's why our target market's often a bit similar to us. So we feel confident to talk about our stuff because we're similar to them.
Absolutely. Jenny is so knowledgeable in this area. Having interviewed her, I've picked up so many ideas. I've got ideas coming through because of what she's even said today. So I want to say thank you, Jenny. You are a pleasure.
Awesome. It was great to chat. Thanks again. I love our conversations.
Me too. Bye.
See ya. Bye.